Deepti Laurent is with us on the set now to take a look at what the papers have been saying. Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Jeannie.
You found a lot more reaction on Donald Trump's executive order on migrants.
That's right. Searing reactions, it must be said. Let's start with Libération, the French left-leaning paper, which on its front page today calls it a stain. They say La Tâche, the paper's editors deploring the, quote, xenophobic pathology of a country that's historically built on immigration. Well, Trump has, of course, made an about face. That's what a lot of the cartoonists are saying. You might even say he's got pie on his face, according to the cartoonist Bill Day, because indeed the tough-talking U.S. president who vowed never to back down has been forced to do so, hence the reason he's got pie on his face. And in many ways, he's putting an end to a crisis that he sort of constructed himself, as you see from this cartoon from Kevin Sears. On the border crisis issue, Trump is holding here both the gas for the fire and the extinguisher.
Deepti, there's a lot of anger toward Donald Trump from both sides of the political spectrum.
Well, the New Yorker calls him the rogue president who was forced to back down, not because he got tired of fear-mongering or racial incitement or because he had a change of heart. No, it's clear he was backed into a corner politically and had no other choice but to sign this executive order. Cruel, heartless, and unnecessary. That's how the New Yorker describes his immigration policy. And even the conservative press have some choice words for the U.S. president. In this article here, the Washington Post writer calls him spineless and calls his actions worthy of Mao. For the paper's columnist, Trump's reversal exposes the papier-mâché quality of Trump's image, at least the one he's trying to give to us, that he's tough-talking on the outside when he's made of really weak stuff on the inside.
Another big story today, Deepti, out of South Sudan, where the two opposing leaders in that country have actually met in Ethiopia to try and broker peace.
That's right. They met on Wednesday, but we're not getting a lot of details about the meeting itself. But Vox has put together a pretty comprehensive article that sums up why they're meeting. Now, South Sudanese President Salva Kiir has met with the rebel leader Riek Machar for the first time in 2 years to try and figure out yet another peace deal. Their last one in 2016 fell through. South Sudan has only been a country for 7 years, but 5 of those years have been during a brutal civil war that's killed over 50,000 people and left 4 million people homeless, Jeannie. At the heart of this conflict are differing religious and ethnic groups. In this article, Vox explains why peace in South Sudan is so fraught with danger.
Something different now out of the World Cup, Deepti, where Burger King in Russia has come under fire over a special promotion it was offering during the World Cup.
It does belie belief, doesn't it, that somehow somebody at Burger King thought this was a good idea. They took out they made a promotion for the World Cup, the Russian franchise of Burger King, that essentially offered a cash reward and lifetime supply of Whoppers to women who get pregnant to footballers during the World Cup. That was the premise. Not a surprise. It sparked a lot of backlash from women's rights groups in particular. The fast food chain has apologized for what it called a clearly offensive promotion, and the Washington Post in this article explains it's a second sexism controversy during the World Cup. Last week, a Russian lawmaker suggested that Russians abstain from sex with foreigners during the World Cup to avoid, quote, unhappy mixed-race babies.
All right, let's focus more on the football. There is a big match for France today. It's going to face off against Peru.
That's right. France faces off against Peru, and L'Equipe, the French sports paper, has Olivier Giroud on the front. He's likely to be starting. Enough talking, the paper says. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to play, to get serious. Now, obviously, millions of people will be watching that game, but there are many who, during World Cup, don't really care about the football. What's it like for them? Well, this cartoon sums it up. It's a little like being a vegan at a barbecue. It's hard to find a topic of discussion.
All right, let's switch now to something that I know a lot of people, in my case, I think is a wonderful piece of news. This is out of New Zealand. The Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, has become a mother while being Prime Minister.
That's right. She's become a mother. She's given birth to a baby girl, New Zealand's first baby. She posted this picture on Instagram. She's only the second sitting female leader in history to give birth while in office. Congratulations, that's what the New Zealand Herald says joyously on its front page. A girl, welcome to our village. They say now Ardern will be on maternity leave for about 6 weeks, that's what she said, and Winston Peters will be acting Prime Minister. As I said, she's only the second woman to give birth in office, the first one being Pakistan's Benazir Bhutto, who incidentally would have been 65 today.
Oh, Deepti, thank you for that. Deepti Laurent there with that look at the press review. You can always get a closer look at the press review if you like on our website. That address is france24.com.